So some argue that we got COVID lows over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some argue that in order for it to be a true trend line, it has to bounce off it 3 times. 3 times makes a trend line, which we have. So we're over in here, right? And new traders are like, okay, it's low, it's probably going to go lower. Oh, it bounced up, I'm going to buy a put. Now's my shot because it was going lower. Is that really a good strategy? Do you know what's going on with the market? Do you know why it bounced? Do you know the technical analysis on a higher time frame? Not a stupid 15-minute chart or a 4-hour or Robinhood where you can't really draw trend lines. Do you know about what the Fed said? Do you even know when the FOMC was? Were you listening to it? These are the things that you need to know if you're going to be a trader. Did you know about this setup right here that I was watching? How was I able to call the bottom on my Twitter? It's very simple. If you just come over here to the weekly chart and see what's going on the higher time frames. But the new traders are, I get it. You're just gambling. You're gambling. Okay, I'm gonna get on at work here. What am I taking? And I understand that. Whenever I was new, I did that. I like the rush. But if you think you're gonna come on there and be profitable overall like that, I hate saying this, but it's gonna take years, and you need to learn. There is a lot to learn before you can get this stuff down, especially with options trading, especially if you're going to swing on something that's $400. The theta burn on something that high would just eat those contracts alive. Probably be doing debit spreads, but yeah, it takes a lot to learn. And the best way that you can get sped up and up to date is being in a trading room and having a mentor or having people that are very intelligent and knowledgeable around. I didn't start to even understand the market and how it worked until I had joined a trading room. Find a good trading room. Let's take a look at, I was also watching up here, which we talked about in a prior video, TNX. Look at that flag break. Bam. Look at a rip. RSI isn't going any higher too, so you know we're near the top. And in the previous video, I talked about how we hit a sell zone right over in here. We hit a resistance and it peeled back. That was going to be my top that I could hit, is in this gray box. Doesn't need to be to the cent. It can be in an area. But we hit where these bodies did before, up in here and over in here. So, and we're starting to peel back over, and the Fed pivoted, and we're on a trend line, and October's over. The last 2 days of October historically are bearish. September is historically bearish. October is kind of a flipper month. You don't know which way she's going to go. Probably bearish chop. Sometimes it's bull, sometimes it's not. November is usually bullish. Okay, and I'm charting the 10-year. Not charting VIX here, and I'm charting the dollar that has ferocious. Look how weak the RSI is over here. Let's go ahead and move this over a little bit. Let's go over to a weekly. And we've got a big volume gap all the way down to around, yeah, we've got a volume gap there. So everything, market runs inverse of the dollar. So does Bitcoin, and so does gold. Want to know where Bitcoin's going to go? Chart the dollar. And pay attention to the halving. That'll be a separate video. It doesn't just run at random. No one knows how to chart Bitcoin. You do it off the dollar. You chart the stock market off the dollar, especially in this scenario. Normal scenarios, you don't have to, because the dollar's not doing anything. It's just kind of dancing a little bit higher, a little bit lower, right? And quantitative tightening and easing, and you're not looking at the dollar. Come on, guys. You new traders, I get it, though. You don't know. You don't have anybody to teach you. Look at us bounce right off this, and we pretty much have a cup and handle on SPY. Everyone wants it to go down. Yeah, there could be a black swan, and it would happen out of nowhere. But it looks very healthy to me. Like, we're going to rip up into this. It's going to price in rate cuts before it happens. But that may not be for a year. If we cut right now, this thing would just take off to ATH. We would see 490, 500 on this in a matter of weeks, maybe months. So to wrap all this up, use the 10-year, use the dollar, okay? Also, see what's going on a higher time frame. You don't need advanced indicators to draw a trend line. You just don't. They can act as support and resistance. Okay? And if we broke through this, I would look for it to come back up, retest, and bounce off it. And right as it starts to peel over, I would add puts. It's very simple. So, moral of the story is, again, join a trading room that has knowledgeable people that can teach you guys and get you newbies up to speed. You new options traders need to start off on the sell side so you can understand what an options contract is and how it behaves in correlation to expiration when it moves closer to expiration, as well as to the stock price when the stock price moves. Start off on the sell side. Learn the wheel strategy, cash secured puts. But to swing trade, SPY, and some of the big stocks with options, you're not going to be profitable in the long run. It's great to learn, but I hate seeing people start with large accounts. Okay, well, the reason I'm losing is because I have a small account. Let me load it with 5,000. Well, you're going to lose that too. You're not going to be profitable with that. You have to understand how the market works. And before I get off here and in this video and wrap it up, we'll use this analogy. SPY is basically this ETF that we have up, SPY, the S&P, which is a basket of stocks in a trust, is the hands on a watch that turn. I wish I had my watch near me. Whatever. And the TNX and the US dollar and the Fed are the little gears inside that watch that make these hands turn. You need to understand what those gears are and how to forecast those gears. The Fed will literally tell you what they're going to do. And you have to understand how the stock market's going to react to that. If you guys want more content, like and follow.